my dear Libras. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of April 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Aries season, so happy birthday to all Aries out there and also all Pisces that still have their birthday in front of them. So I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, and if you do hit that thumbs up button, you are truly helping my channel to flourish here on YouTube. You can see the order I read in this time around at the community section of my channel, and thank you so much all of you for liking, watching, commenting, donating and subscribing to my channel. I am super grateful for all of your appreciation. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon and Rising sign. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. For this reading, I will use the Crystal Tarot by Elisabetta Trevisan, and I will start shuffling your cards. So, when I open your deck here, I see the Knight of Cups together with the Empress. So that seems very lovely. All about love. So, Knight of Cups is when we have kind of romantic plans or romantic ideas, or we want to have adventure, we want to have happiness in our lives, so we are seeking out the beautiful and wonderful things and try to focus on them and build on them, so we will have more. And the Empress is all this. She's beauty, abundance, everything that we are building our economy on, all the natural resources. So it's a very beautiful, luscious card, but I'm thinking someone is in love here with the Empress, and it's a little bit lopsided situation because this is just a Knight and this is a Major Arcana card. So this is like the Divine Feminine together with a little Percival on the hunt for the Holy Grail. Okay, so I call the Divine with Love and Light, and here we have Judgment together with the Empress. So it might be that some of you are dealing with mother issues or issues about self-respect and working on self-love here. Oh, this Empress, it's if we have not been nurtured correctly by our parents, we will have problems later on in life to accept being loved or be loving ourselves to other people. With the Empress, sometimes we can become overwhelmed if we have had parents hoovering us and helicopter us, like looking into everything we are doing, with maybe a little bit judgmental attitude, always thinking that they are right and it's in their way we need to do what we want to do. So I feel that aspect, but mostly it's about allowing yourself to become this central sun of your own life. So that means maybe not listen so much to others, but becoming your own authority, becoming the one that knows what's best for you to do and what's the better choice or the better way to walk about certain things. So with Judgment, I'm thinking you are stepping into your own judgment. What is more obvious here when we see the Knight of Cups in the light of this Judgment and the Empress is, of course, that there's some kind of revival. We know that Judgment Day, it's the day when all the dead are rising. So it might be that something dead is rising. It might not come back a lover from the past. Knight of Cups might be Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. This is usually Taurus, but it's depicting Venus as well. Can be any sign, but it just shows that it's a very romantic, beautiful energy here that wants to be revived, wants to be brought back to life. Okay, I'm hearing the songs that came your previous reading. It's with live, I don't know exactly which song, but you can look at my March reading to find out these songs that's now in my head. So it seems like they still have some kind of momentum still being actual in the month of April as well. So I called the 4 archangels, and here we have the King of Cups together with the Empress. So that's a little bit better, like a king together with the Major Arcana card, that someone has grown with the Judgment, becoming an adult person, becoming their own authority, loving themselves, rising to the occasion. That means healing oneself. And when we have healed ourselves, we become another adult together with other adults. So it's not like we are a baby anymore or a person that lacks authority. So other people need to tell us what to do and what to not do. So I'm thinking some person here that Libra is dealing with, or Libra itself, has been going through some kind of metamorphosis where we have gone from not being an authority in our own life to becoming one. And by this also healing ourselves, our own life. This is a person of Tao. No one can touch a person of Tao, because if you are healed, if you think that you are great and your decisions are great and you are in full confidence that the way you are leading your life is the correct one, you are not going to be anxious if other people question you. You will be cool about it. You will even be loving towards these people and maybe assure them that I know what I'm doing. I can take care of this. You don't have to worry. I'm happy. So mothers sometimes can be very worried that their children is not living a happy life, and might be over smothering sometimes to make sure that their children are happy, even when they are adult. So I'm thinking this loving energy can reassure this parent energy a little bit, that I have my shit together, okay? So when we are not so touchy-feely, we don't have to take other people's concerns as criticism or as something that we need to oppose. We can just say, okay, I listen to your opinion and it's a good one. And maybe I will choose the things that you are saying. Maybe I will choose my own, something that I have found out for myself. We'll see. So being sure that it's you that rules your life makes you a warmer person, like a person that's able to really show who you are and what you are made of. So not longer hiding and thinking that I need to hide my business here because, with the 5 of Swords there, because in other case someone will come and criticize me. So always when we feel like other people have the power to humiliate us, we might be a little bit too much in our ego, a little bit too little in our soul. When we are in our soul, we become very self-assured in our own authority, can be also therefore very loving towards other people. But this is of course also a love affair. Sometimes when we don't have the best attachment style to our parents, we might have also problem finding love. The little Percival there that was still maybe underneath his mother's boot a little bit, won't be able to be grown up enough to have an adult relationship with an adult woman. Will actually see his mother everywhere and start to revolt towards her. So something like this might have been going on in the past. It's not an issue anymore, as it seems. Someone has grown up, rise to the occasion, is now an equal or almost an equal when it comes to this, almost equal experienced as this, the Empress, the Divine Feminine. So I call the 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Libra viewers. So I want my dear Libras to find love in their lives and to be in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. The King of Cups and the Empress there, it's also a depiction for someone has found their one. It's like they have searched every options and seen it's only one person remains, and this is the person I love. So I think with the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups, there has been like a journey for finding the Holy Grail. And sometimes we need to search on the other side of the fence because the grass seems greener there. But in this case, I think this person have found out that the grass wasn't greener. Actually, it's like making priorities, like deciding what's your priorities, what's important in your life. And I think someone has found out what is important. The Empress doesn't have to be a person. It can be a dream of abundance. It can be your own company. It can be something you want to accomplish in life before you die, like birthing forward a child, your child, that will leave a legacy for you. Okay, so I'm just going to tune in for a few seconds to Libra and the energy of Libra in the month of April. Okay. Okay, so my dear Libras, this is your future there. And this is your now, and this is your past. So in the past we have Temperance, and we have already seen that there's a great love affair here, maybe with the water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or with Temperance it's Sagittarius. So it's a very beautiful energy of being very attracted towards someone. If we are not the man of Tao, if we haven't healed ourselves, we will usually become attracted to the person that holds our shadow, the things that we need to develop in ourselves, or to a person that can kind of wake us up, sometimes a little bit brutal. So if we are a person that don't think that we are worthy of love, we will fall in love in a person that doesn't think that we are worthy of love. Okay. If we think that other people control us, we will fall in love with a very controlling person, and so on. And this is how we attract a mirror into our lives, so that we can see ourselves, so that we can become aware of our wound. And the wound is the place where light enters your being. So by focusing on your wound where you are traumatized, facing your fear, staying with your pain, and so on, you will actually be able to find your highest path towards your highest destiny, because it's laid there. It's like the yellow brick road to the Emerald City. It's finding out where the big lights are shining, the warning lights saying, I'm wounded here, I'm wounded, there's a problem here, I'm scared, I'm in fear. So that's where you go. That's where you find out your shadow. And often love relationships are very complicated. The Temperance card is 14, but it's connected to 5, all the 5s. 5 of Wands, conflict. 5 of Swords, humiliation, someone stealing your energy, being like sassier than you, having a more expensive car, better job, whatever. And the 5 of Cups, people making you disappointed. And 5 of Pentacles, you not feeling that you are good enough, feeling left out in the cold, or like you don't belong. So all these things are connected also to the Temperance card, but the Temperance card is very hopeful, because it's there where we work on these issues and heal ourselves. So, but we actually need to face those issues to be able to do that. So that's why we are attracted to the things that we fear the most. Okay, and this is your now, and we have an 8 of Pentacles, so that shows a beautiful, beautiful essence of cooperation. Together with the Sagittarius card, Temperance, which is the alchemist, an alchemist, a scientist at work with something that they have done over and over again, like making the same kind of experiment and changing small variables so you get a different result, and trying, okay, so what's going to work, what's going to work, what's going to work. So it's a very scientific way of approaching your life, trying different methods, trying different approaches to make something more harmonious and more in balance. 8 is connected to the Strength card, so it's about also becoming adult by your own strength, by your own force, by being the bigger person, by kind of faking it until you make it. If you can't, if you aren't the Buddha, imagine that you are the Buddha and act like this person, and your life will improve like by faking it until you make it. So it's a very beautiful situation where we try to, for example, manufacture something, and we we do it again and again and again until we perfect the process. So we become really skilled on whatever it is that we are doing, a work, a relationship, personality development problem, attachment issue, whatever it is, you are working on it again and again. Sometimes in our lives it can feel like living the same nightmare over and over again, or being dumb enough to fall into the same pit all over again and again and again. But it's not that you are dumb, it's just that you need this experience again and again, so you will become a master of it and also be able to solve it. What is it that draws you into the pitfall, makes you drive your bicycle, the wheel? Karma, repetitive situations, bicycle, I'm not going to fall into that hole, I'm falling into the hole. So we all have these kind of patterns, and your patterns probably differ a lot from other people's patterns. We can see with people that we are acquainted with or in our closest circle that they have their certain kind of problems. They can be a girl, for example, always falling for people that already are engaged or married, or they can be a person never able to attach to anyone, always needs to run to the next one. There's so many different things, and usually their pattern isn't your pattern. And sometimes we get our best friends can hold the other side of the pattern, so we are able to see it so through their eyes. Okay. And here is the future. So it's another 8, and again connected to the 8 strength card. And this is again Sagittarius, but the strength card is Leo. So it's very fiery, it's very creative. With what did we have here? It's the alchemist ruling these 8s. So it's like you're a scientist, you're really trying, you're really making an effort. And I think this is great. If this is you, it's the total change from procrastinating, which sometimes is what Libra do, because you want to keep the balance. So you don't want to take a decision, because if you take a decision, the dice is on the roll and you can't take control over that situation. So it will end where it ends. And sometimes this is not what Libra wants. You want to be in control. You want to see to that everyone is satisfied, everything is in balance, being in equilibrium. Taking a decision or moving forward will always push you out of balance for a moment. And that is sometimes not particularly pleasant for a person where balance is very important. But here it seems like no more procrastination. 8 of Wands is a very communicative card, also about truth, communicating your truth. It might be that you or someone else has a very positive attitude about a problem they don't now have a solution for. They have found a solution. I know now what to do. I know now how to fulfill my dream. I know now how to solve our relationship issue. I know now how to move forward with my life. So it's a very beautiful energy, and you're not stuck in the mud anymore, Libra. If you go with this energy, you will be free. So it's great, okay? And we see it's like kind of a dog there behind the wands. I don't know if you can see it. So it's some kind of loyalty here that makes a person try harden each time. Okay, if this didn't work, then I try this. If this didn't work, I try this. So it's a beautiful, loyal energy that doesn't give up. So, my dear Libras, this is your past here, and we have a 3 of Cups. So 3 of Cups is usually outer worldly kind of love, like the love you can feel with only a few people. It's not all people you can share this kind of connection with. It's usually people that belongs to your soul group or people that you have lived together with before. It's like a feeling of I know you, I can relax alongside of you. We belong together. So, and it's usually very happy when you meet this person. You become very, very happy. It's like overflowing love, the Holy Trinity, Mother, Father, Child. This Holy Trinity within you, where you have healed yourself, and the mother aspect, the father aspect, and the child aspect inside of you is in balance. So I'm sorry for my voice. I've had the influenza, so I'm starting to get better little by little here. But the voice is still whacked. Okay. And here we have a Knight of Wands. That's another Sagittarius energy. So it's a lot of Sagittarius here. It might be that many of you are dealing with the Sagittarius as a romantic partner, or it might be that you have taken in the Sagittarius energy in your life, being very creative, being very brave, rolling the dice, not caring about balance anymore, throwing yourself into the game, putting your horse in front of the wagon and saying, giddy up. Okay, so it's very good energy here. It's like you have a green light to move forward. You had already here in the past. Even though Three of Cups and Knight of Wands, it can sometimes be a little bit too much of all the fun. This can be like the typical, what do I see here? I see like a guitar hero kind of a guy playing the guitar down at the beach, charming all the women falling in love. He feels disconnected with everyone. So it's not like you are the chosen one. So sometimes it can be like this. It's energy that wants to be alive, and it wants to have fun, and it wants to have being like feeling the passion through their veins. So it can be like a person falling in love with life. But other people that has a more sober experience might feel tricked by this energy, not like this person that always laugh and always also fun, and one day they are mine and next day they are someone else's. But the key here might actually be that this person doesn't stick around for disappointments. So sometimes it's a very easygoing way of living your life. You don't have to take responsibility for anyone or anything. You can just ride along the wave, or be this surfer girl or surfer boy going for the next beach and seeing the next people. So it's always keeping you on a high. It's high all the time. It's the song I'm hearing. It's for you. See if I will find my pen. No, that was not the correct one. Oh, high all the time. Yeah, okay, so there might be a drug problem here. Three of Cups, it can be party all night long, okay? Party, high all the time. And it's a fear also. Sometimes it's a fear-based way of living, to not be able to stick around for the hardships. It's no, in sickness and health here. It's only in health and in happiness. If you become sick, I will leave you. So that's not particularly loyal. This energy I felt here was very loyal, but this is a little bit, well, it can be the other side of the coin here. Okay. And here we see a Five of Pentacles. So this is the person that doesn't stick around, when you become sick. It's the person that leaves you in a cloud of dust to their next adventure. And you will feel like, okay, so I wasn't that important. I wasn't that, it wasn't like I was special. Probably it was that person that was special and everyone wants to be with them, but no one wants to be with me. And here I am, left in the dust of this amazing experience I had with this person. I can't really decide if this person you're dealing with here is this a genuine person, or are they just playing hooky and wasting time. So breaking hearts as they go. It can be one or the other or both. Sometimes you do a lot of stupid shit and you don't even realize, because you haven't walked a mile in another person's shoes, so you don't know how they feel. And sometimes we need to be grateful for these kind of people, always being able to have a smile, not being weighed down by problems. They can show us an alternative way of living that's a little bit more lighthearted. Okay. But Five of Pentacles, yeah, 5, 14, 1 plus 4, 5. So here we are dealing with issues of not feeling validated by other people, not feeling good enough or valuable enough for a person to maybe stick around. But with this 9 of Pentacles, it shows that, if people don't stick around, if you can't keep the happiness forever and keep them, at a phone call distance, you can love yourself. You can make your own life happy. You can live by their example and filling your life with happy things. Instead of waiting for someone else on the outside making you happy, you make yourself happy. Nine of Pentacles is sometimes a little bit like a desert-like situation, but where you kind of take lemons and make lemons juice. You have a garden that's a desert, and you start to water it and plant things in it and nurture it and take care of it, and suddenly you have the paradise. Okay, this is how you need to nurture your life from your own inner strength. This card is connected to the Hermit, and it's the part of the Hermit, like the Buddha's journey, where he actually started to eat and become abundant. And didn't live in starvation and denial anymore. This Five of Pentacles here is starvation and denial, not getting your needs filled. So if someone else that was like a rocket through your life didn't fulfill your needs, well, you learned to do it yourself. So you learned to fulfill your own needs. Sometimes this can make us a little bit cold and distant, because we feel like I'm the only one I can rely on, so I won't trust if the like happiness like this knocks on my door again. I won't even invite it, because I am enough for myself. But it's just a phase. It's become boring in the long run, so person won't stay in that energy forever if they are not a little bit procrastinating, of course, staying in their cave, finding balance and not wanting to change a thing. That can happen, particularly maybe if you are a Libra. And here we have Emperor. We have the Empress in the beginning. Here we have the Emperor, the divine masculine. It's usually connected to Aries, and we can see the eagle here. So it's like the Caesar, the one that rules civilization. We have had different cultures ruled by this eagle, like Assur and Rome, Third Reich. Now, currently, it's the United States holding this sometimes not so flattering grip over the world, being the Caesar. Some Caesars, some emperors are good emperors, making their kingdom thrive for eons, for a long time, of like the 1,000-year-old kingdom where everyone thrived and everyone's needs were met. And then we have these Caesars where things rise to their head and they become like Nero and burns their own city. They are not loyal. So I'm feeling a little bit different things with this. I'm feeling like a person that have anchored themselves into their own body, learn to love themselves, learn to build boundaries, and maybe not become used anymore by people that is just in and out of your life, charming you with great love, and then next day being disappearing, okay? Or promise you that they will be there forever and then not being by your side anymore. So I'm thinking this is a good thing. It's a person kind of deciding that, okay, I'm going to be adult about this. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. I'm going to do the best of the situation, take responsibility, and build on my own foundation. So even if the happiness and the golden edge of everything is kind of gone, you build on your own paradise without them. Okay, so that's a song. It also came for Leo. It's AVICCI, Without You. Hi all the time, and then I'm without you. Okay, so AVICCI. So this is like the aftermath, like the day you woke up after the party. Going on without you. Without you, yes. I'm noting here, so I will put it in the description box for you with lyrics and links and everything, so you can find the song and you can play it. Often the songs have a deeper explanation of your story. The songs might understand you better than I do, see your situation better than I do, because the songs comes, it's very divinely beautiful, divine messages. So I'm thinking you had some happy party time here with someone that you were very attracted to. That person disappeared or you disappeared on them. And so one scenario, if they disappeared on you, it seems like you are able to live on without them and kind of being able to make a happy life without them. So you become more grounded, you learn to take better care of yourself. You don't need outside things to fill your life with beautiful things. You can fill it yourself. So that's one thing. For some of you cross watchers, this might be Libra all along, these things. And in that case, it's a person that they can't really engage in love because they need to oscillate between engaging in love and disappearing, engaging and disappearing, engaging and disappearing. And why this is because they have a very low self-esteem. So it's better to disappear than to get disappeared on. Okay, so this with ego again, 5 of Swords. Better to humiliate than to be humiliated. That's the vice of the ego. Ego is great. It wants you to survive, but sometimes it just hurts you because the ego is touchy-feely about stupid things like pride, and your soul doesn't care about pride. What's pride? But it's nothing. Your soul is eternal. Your ego is just here for a little while, trying to keep your body alive as long as your soul is in it. But sometimes it feels like it runs the show, and then it's kind of put shade in the glare of the sun. That's when the ego becomes more important than your soul. So for some of you, you're dealing with a masculine energy that's can't stick around with anything because they have a low self-esteem and they are ego-based. So instead of risking heartbreak, they are being heartbreakers. Rather be the hunter than the prey. That's another song. I think it came for Leo as well. This is becoming a lot of songs here now. Imagine Dragons, a natural. So it's yes, I think it's a very good description for the top row here in this reading. This is if we see it from this point of view, it's a person being natural on acting cool and just stealing what they need from life and then running away with their prey or with like someone else's pride maybe, and going into hibernation. Okay, so, or yeah, it's yes. Okay, I will continue. Here we have King of Swords. King of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini or Libra. 8 of Pentacles together with King of Swords is this is an energy that you can kind of trust. If they are pure, I don't do reversals when I do the generals because I think it's hard for the masses to take a very truthful reading. When it comes with reversals, it's giving more nuances. You see more exactly what's going on with things. Say, for example, that the 8 of Pentacles and the King of Swords would have come in the reverse. That would have shown a person that doesn't want to cooperate, that aren't loyal and are only thinking of themselves and have very tendencies to wants to be a ruler, like king over the world and have control over everything and everyone, okay? So, and not contributing in a very nice way. So for some of you, this will be the case. But for others of you, this is a very grown-up, beautiful energy, like a person that are able to see both themselves and others and what's really going on underneath the surface of things. We also see that this Aquarius person here is actually standing on the moon. Me, myself, has Aquarius, moon in Aquarius. So it shows like a person being able to look at also their fears and their most horrific pains and kind of be curious about it and investigate it and thereby improve their lives. So if we don't procrastinate, we don't push things underneath the carpet, we don't hide things, we don't hide from things, but actually deal with things, it's a very adult way to lead one's life. So this might be a very adult person like this, have a great capacity to see what's need to be done to create a better situation, or to actually improve the situation, or become doing very adult choices. This is usually a judge. We also had the judgment card. So as a person with a very keen and great judgment skill here, that are able to make very healthy decisions in this situation, that might be you, Libra. Okay, and here we have a Knight of Swords. So this is when we are kind of deteriorating into a more argumentative personality. Knight of Swords is this young civilizations, as I said, Asser, Rome, Third Reich, USA, young nations that has gotten becoming a little bit full of themselves, usually through warrior power. We can see this is a warrior, and thereby thinking that I'm strong enough, so I'm entitled to put all these other countries underneath me, or I'm rather being the hunter than the prey. So in Sweden we say in traffic specifically that the biggest one is the one that are allowed to drive first, and it's like said with a lot of irony. Okay, so sometimes if there's a bus or a big truck, they don't care about traffic rules, they just drive. So that kind of energy here, because I'm so big, I don't care about if you get squished in the way. And it comes underneath another knight, Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords. These two fellas together is the most masculine of all the knights, and very fiery combination, explosive combination. Think a religious fanatic together with nuclear power, and you get the picture. So this is someone that thinks that they are entitled by God to act in certain ways that's usually not particularly fair towards other humans. So I don't know exactly how this comes into the equation, but it might be that you are dealing with another air sign or a fire sign that is... they are out to win this, okay? They are out to conquer, and, they are not taking no for an answer, and they are not going to budge, like rather being crushed than budging. So that's what I'm feeling. But I think they are very happy. I don't think they have one problem in the world, because they think that everything can be solved with, just more power. Or just more of my beautiful, beautiful, bright intelligence. I will play chess with these others, so they won't even know what happened. So it can be like a war strategy kind of energy, like a person being very, they're relying on their own intelligence to maybe rule the situation or control the situation. This can be good things also, like progress that we make in science. But usually when we solve some kind of problem with this kind of energy, it's usually the same energy that kind of caused the problem. For example, we don't have enough energy. We need more energy. So we are creating these nuclear power plants, and we're using them for 40 or 80 years. It's just the problem is that when we have used these power plants, we are going to have to stuff all this radioactive material underground, and that will steal as much energy from our children that it gave to our generation, because it will take all the energy which the power plant maybe gave underneath 40 years of time to bury all that radioactive material underground. So this is how we solve problems, by creating kind of more problems. So sometimes it's a curious energy that always looks for new solutions, but sometimes the solution isn't, we forget to think about the seventh generation. So sometimes we forget to think about our partner when we make these kind of decisions, or we forget to think about the other people that are employed on this company, or we forget to think about our family. We just do something that feels great for us, but and fulfills our needs, but might steal energy from others. So for example, one night stand kind of guy, leaving the girl in the morning because they want to rule their own empire, feeling safe, feeling in control. No one tells me what to do. So it's a tricky energy here. I can't really recognize who's who here, but I understand that this energy can be the same person, but this energy feels a little bit more adult, and it might be that a person is oscillating between two sides of them, one that's very loving and spiritual, and another side that might be but maybe this is my only life and I will take all I need from it to become as happy as possible, because if I die with only this life in my baggage, I want to have lived fully. I don't care if other people are allowed to live fully. Maybe I will steal from them. So it's a little bit, it's maybe a person oscillating between two extremes. And here we have a little Knave of Pentacles. So that's it's like a baby. It's like a new beginning. It's like something that has inspiration and can be created into something great. So I'm thinking what I said before about these nations becoming like too full of themselves because they are young. This energy, like creating nuclear plants because they are young. It's like children playing with matches. So I have the power, why can't I use it? And not knowing about the consequences just yet, because we are young. So we are allowed to make mistakes. Sometimes these mistakes will have effects not on ourselves but on others. And we are going to have to live a life after this that where we will take consequences of someone else's actions, so we can see things from every different side. But here with this little Knave, we don't have that experience just yet, so we haven't lived those life. We haven't walked 1,000 miles in another person's shoes, so we can't understand the reactions to our actions. We can't understand how this will impact other people. For example, we can see with the Third Reich, they were thinking like, well, if we sort out all disabled people, we will purify the gene pool. That's a great idea. Next life, they will probably become disabled people themselves and find out that also these people's lives have great value. And they can make a great contribution with just not being able to do things that other people take for granted. So that's how we learn. We incarnate through the karma we have created. So this is a person kind of creating a lot of bullshit karma for themselves, but why they are doing this is because they are young. So you might be dealing with a person like this, or you Libra are like this. I can't tell. So it will be different in different situations. But it's very good to be aware of this, because then we can do something about it. And here we have a Knave of Swords, so two children. For me, when it comes to children in a reading, it can point to a twin flame relationship. And I have talked to you about this before, how humanity has a broken heart. Once we lived in harmony, but that can't be forever, because we need to learn new stuff. So we did something stupid as created a nuclear power plant, but maybe with other kind of fusion energy or something, and we blowed up a big civilization. You have all heard the story of Atlantis. And in that moment, we also created a rift in humanity, because after that, one part of humanity was working more towards empathy and healing and the heart, the way of the heart, we can say. And another side went to the way of the logic, how we can solve things with logic and how we can rule our lives with logic. These two fractions of humans are going to have to merge together right now. So therefore, you were ripped apart. Your part was ripped from you, and that became your twin. So it's actually you were made from the same atoms in the beginning of the Big Bang, kind of. And now these twins are usually not incarnated in the same time. They oscillate like this. One is up and one is down. But now, in this time, we are incarnating in the same time. so that the twins can come together. So you will meet a person that you feel like you belong to and you have always known them, but they will be kind of your worst nightmare, like everything that you aren't, and they can't really understand you and you can't understand them, and the one is going to run from the union, and the other one is going to be the chaser that wants to fix it, and might be this energy here wants to, we have a work to do, so don't run from me and this person. So okay, but the issue is still there. There's still this twin flame union still needs to happen, so we'll see what about it. Earth and air, so sky and earth. Okay, so it's each other's opposite, we can say, in some way, like in very earthy way. We see how the nature is on our planet. We have air here and we have earth here. So this is two very different ways of dealing with things. This is very hands-on, and I think this might be the people that was off Earth. And if you think of the movie Avatar and people that's hooked up to the grid and is connected like a world tribe, everyone is connected. What I do towards you, I do to myself, kind of thing. So this is this energy of Earth, very loyal, very like have a mindset wanting to fix things for others also. It's very caretaking energy, but having a low self-esteem, because when energies like this comes, it's like this humans that come from Earth in this case to Pandora and wanted to steal all the natural resources. Because this was their way. One had taken this road and the other one took this road, made more logic, wanting to create more nuclear power plants, maybe needing a lot of energy resources. So they came and they didn't care about union or if I chop down this tree, everyone will hurt in all that's connected to the grid of that tree. So they didn't understand this. They were just playing chess. They were just using their logic mind, very short-sighted, not thinking about the 7th generation. But it was necessary because it's kind of created, if we have lived in paradise, we don't learn so much new. We just hold the old wisdom and nurture it for the next generation. But as souls, as divine souls, we seem to get bored and we want to spike up things. So we create a problem and then we solve it by living many lifetimes in that problem until we have found a solution to it. And here we have these two different entities. They don't know that they are brothers and sisters. They think they are enemies. And here we have justice, so that's Libra, and it comes underneath the emperor. Sorry, the fly coming very close to my face, wanting to say something. Okay, justice, Libra, underneath the emperor. It kind of points unjustly to you being the people of the sword, people of the metal, people from space landing on Earth, creating havoc on the Earth inhabitant, taking them as slave, burning their ground trees, all what happened once. It was even further, longer back than this Atlantis thingy. It was a more older event, but it was the ignition. But I think the Atlantis event was the real breaking point, where people really went their separate ways a little bit. Okay, so with this justice card, it's about creating balance, universal balance. Things needs to be paid. If we have stolen things from others, we need to pay it back. If we have done someone wrong, we need to ask for forgiveness. And it comes underneath the divine masculine, which is, of course, also the symbol for the swords people, the people of the metal. So that's air energy. But Libra is the least airy of all the air energies because you are ruled by Venus, and you are the most watery of the air energy. So you have kind of half and half. So this war might be going on inside of you. You might have a very empathic and emotional streak and one very logic streak, and you need to make them into balance. You need to balance this inside of you. If you can balance it inside of you, you can help all humanity to balance this energy inside of them. But I'm thinking a lot of Libras will become upset with me, since it seems like this is the stubborn energy that kind of doesn't want to see what is happening, and may not want to take responsibility for their part. It's these other people, their fault. So if you have this, look at yourself. If you feel that you can make something out of this, you can see yourself a little bit more clearly, then you have done a great win for yourself, and you will be able to release yourself from karma by becoming very aware. This is a chance to wake up. In the Dragon's Tarot, the Celtic Dragon's Tarot, it's a dragon holding a long list of things that needs to be dealt with. And if you actually deal with these things, you will be the dragon rider, the healing of humanity, rainbow warrior. So that's a choice you can make by starting to look at ourselves first. Look at the man in the mirror. So another song. It's a lot of songs here. Man in the Mirror. And I'm thinking Michael Jackson version. Man in the Mirror. So if we start with that person, instead of thinking of all the things that's wrong with the world, we decide that we have enough power to fix things. If 100 people are doing healthy things for humanity, it will spread like a wildfire, and 1,000 people will do this, 100,000 people, 1 million, 1 billion. So you are not without power. So if you start to face yourself and see where you are imbalanced inside yourself, and where you are playing hooky and procrastinating and making other people deal with your problems. If you can do this, the outside energy that you might be dealing with, that might be much worse, will probably be able to do the same. So, for example, if you have been dealing with an abusive, liar, narcissistic person that only cares for themselves, if you look at this energy inside of yourself, and you might need to enhance it before you can balance it. So you might need to become more egoistic, more self-righteous, more like everything needs to be mine. So and more logic and more kind of cunning and manipulating. So really perfecting this, like letting the pendulum swing all the way. Then when you have done this and really lived out your shadow, you can go back to the other side. And for many Libras, because many of you are highly sensitive people, okay, it's like emotional empaths, you will have the opposite problem. You will be the person that gives too much and asks for too little, but the medicine is kind of still the same. Let the pendulum swing towards becoming super selfish for a little while, and then you can balance things out. So we have done, during the age of Pisces, we have done it the other way, like turning the other cheek, trying to be bigger people, trying to like be without sin, all these kind of things. But now it's time to do the opposite, so we can find balance in the middle. Okay. So your future here, and here we have the Fool. So I trust this King of Swords energy with the Three of Cups above its head, because the Fool and the Three of Cups is a lovely energy of this childlike happiness. So if you're able to tap into that and see what's actually make you happy, and roll the dice and turn towards this, like bet on the horse that makes you happy, that makes you feel like you're alive, even if it's sometimes hardship. If we, for example, rather create our own company than working for the man, we might be fearful that this is not going to actually bring us happiness in the end. But if it feels happy, it's like calling you, go there. Okay. The Fool is promising that if you are trusting, if you live from your soul, beautiful things will happen to you. So this is the energy that once came to earth, your soul in its untainted form. And it has the very logic King of Swords above its head. So I'm thinking this is balance. a person that's adult, still listening to their inner child and following their heart's bliss, having an open heart. I can't think of a better picture. And here we have the Empress. So we have a child and an Empress, and that might happen too. If you are in a twin flame relationship or any kind of this important spiritual relationships, there might be an age gap, because imagine this, we have a plan, like the spiritual plan, how to heal the earth. It's starting to go south. We are seeing that there's maybe a third world war on the horizon. So we push down spirits, new spirits, rainbow children, crystal children, indigo children. We just spray them down so that they can help humanity grow. And these children might need to come together with parents from their past or lovers from their past that maybe was born during the 60s, 70s, 90s, 80s, sorry, and with people from millennia, okay? So this is because all energy needs to be put into this very important situation where we are kind of going through like a wormhole in space, or Earth is going through a great evolution. So there's a chance, like a big chance right now, to, if we bet it all, that we will make it through, and we will evolve instead of destroying the planet and shooting ourselves in the foot and, you know, having to start all over somewhere on a rocky planet without oxygen as larva or something. Okay, so so sometimes it will be a little bit of an age gap, or it might be different gaps. It can be a social gap, it can be a money gap, it can be experience gap, it can be like one person living off their like from their hand into their mouth, and another person having like a multi-millionaire company worth a lot of money. So it can be two very like different energy, but it's a mother and a child, and that can also be the case for many of you, that you're meeting your children from earlier lifetimes, in the most in places where you didn't expect to find them, and it might be that they are your twin. Okay, there might also be a lot of children involved. People have gotten children to left and right, I don't know. So, okay. And here we have the Seven of Swords comes underneath this poor little person that thinks everything is done for. They had paradise once and they lost it to these people of the sword. So that's one part of you. And I'm thinking Libra is you have incarnated in many different bodies. So I'm thinking you are both incarnated in the Pandora branch and in the people of steel branch. So you kind of have both of these energies inside of you. So it's a little bit war here. How should I think? How can I solve this? It's a low self-esteem, both Five of Pentacles and Seven of Swords. This is talking about, I don't have any energy, I'm too young, I'm too old, nothing is ever going to work, and nobody loves me on top of that. So this is very sad energy. And if we feel like this, we might want to rather be the hunter than the prey. We might decide that I'm not going to be the victim anymore. So bad self-esteem is sometimes the recipe for not so great harmonious things. If you can't be loved, you want to be respected, and if you can't be respected, you want to be feared. So something like this is going on. It's like this group of social people that lives on the outside of society, maybe young men that doesn't have a chance of an income. They are talking the wrong language, or having the wrong education, or coming from the wrong families. So they're kind of outsiders. It's the kind of crowd that becomes suicide bombers, or that join some racist national group or something like that. And once they were of Pandora, so someone has stolen their dignity. For example, by not letting people be their natural self, or by the school system trying to make everyone being the same instead of taking care of everyone's like unique talents. We try to make every zebra climb the tree and every fish going to have to run marathon. So that can break the back of anyone if we are not like loved for the one we are, if we can't be, have space to live and room to grow and fertile land to build on. And so if we steal everything from a person, they will become desperate like this. And here we have a King of Cups, and it comes underneath the Nine of Pentacles, Knave of Swords kind of energy. So I'm thinking the heart of this divine masculine here is starting to really wake up. It might be that you're dealing with Scorpio. This is Scorpio. It might be Pisces or Cancer as well. And here we have Libra, Aries, okay, Taurus. So King of Calluses here. I'm also seeing a separated family, a mother with a child that's separated from the husband or the father, because maybe they have been a little bit juvenile and egocentric and all about them, and maybe not feeling that they were able to take responsibility for a family. They were not even able to take responsibility for themselves. But I'm thinking they are waking up now to some kind of love. Maybe their heart chakra is opening here. And here we have an Ace of Wands. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen with that, but I think it's a very good ignition. It's like someone is maybe, they have come so far in their Kundalini awakening that they are now in the heart chakra region, which is open with this tremendous Kundalini power. So it's like having a cobra there. The pharaohs of old, they had cobras coming out of their forehead, showing that they were enlightened and that the Kundalini was risen in them. I'm thinking a lot of you, Libras, are going to find memories of you being royalties in previous lifetime. Maybe have a lot to answer for as these royalties. Maybe you were leading this Asser and Rome and Third Reich and young America maybe. And now, this is the consequences. See what has happened. So I think you need to come to terms with this, that we are allowed to make mistakes. If we have a lot of power, we will also be able to make greater mistakes and still love ourselves because of it, because we are here to make mistakes, relive through them, make amends and fix things, so we will have a complete experience. And so I'm thinking there's someone here starting to take responsibility, also getting their memory back. Maybe you will have very vivid dreams about what you have been in a previous lifetime. It's a lot of spiritual energy coming down here. Shoof. And there's still a separation here in humanity, this for themselves and this for themselves. And what's separating them is people not feeling that they belong. So not having, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what my life mission is. For example, guys can't have children. So sometimes they need to create grand things for themselves and a name, a legacy, because they feel that they can't bring forward a child through their womb as a female can. So it makes them a little bit anxious. What am I going to leave behind? I can't even be sure my children is my own. What has she done here? It's a little bit trust issues here. And this is a wound that runs deep into humanity and masculinity. And we see this, the divine feminine and divine masculine being separated by these two children. So when the twin flames are coming into union, I'm thinking this next step will be the divine masculine and divine feminine coming into union. But first it needs to happen by kind of the divine masculine making the reckoning and taking responsibility for what has happened up till now, and still not making it about them being, that there's something wrong with them. It's not something wrong with them, okay? They just need to wake up and become the people that they truly are, and that will solve the problem. So right now I'm thinking masculinity is in a lot of shame because of, you read about all the rapes, all the wars. It's not female people being behind those things, usually. And it's like 90% male people causing these difficult things in the world. But it's because they're a little bit blinded to their self-worth. So they do stupid things that is kind of showing a person that have lost their soul. So the divine masculine needs to get back their soul and their self-love and their self-respect and responsibility, taking responsibility, being able to say, okay, yes, I did something wrong, and still not feeling like you're not worth living because of it. It's like being able to admit to I have done something wrong, or saying I'm sorry without that saying anything about you. When a person are able to say I'm sorry, I love you, without any resistance, that's when they have accepted themselves. But I think this energy hasn't really accepted themselves, and therefore we still have a big maybe log in their eye, not being able to see themselves. Enough with the jabbering. Okay, I will take a card from the Oracle of Vision to see Libra's spiritual path here. And we have truth. Yes, truth needs to be told. And that also means taking responsibility and seeing oneself clearly and still loving oneself. Not, you don't have to judge yourself. You can see yourself in an awakened light without, and also others in an awakened light without being, you can judge without being judgmental. You can see the truth without making it about, oh, you are so bad, you don't deserve to live. Person can do bad things and they are still this beautiful eternal soul. You may find yourself facing a situation in which it is difficult to determine the real truth of the matter and the best way forward. Instead of relying on your rational mind to work it out logically, try going within. Sit quietly in meditation, even if only for a few minutes a day, and you'll see the answer to this puzzle being revealed, perhaps when you least expect it. I look within to find my truth. I listen to the divine force that comes from my inner self. I am in harmony with myself, and I welcome the love of God, the power that will guide me towards my fullest shining radiance. So it's very beautiful. You're so close. And also if you are this person and you are with this other person, they are also so very close to solve this. The only thing that's needed is self-love and self-respect. And then you don't need to put yourself in a position where you are either respected or feared to feel loved. You are loved by yourself. So this is the other person, what they are feeling about you. This is their feelings towards you, your significant other. So they think that everyone is doing their best. So I think they have a lot of love for you and, be able to oversee if you have done anything wrong towards them. There are really only two types of people, those you now love and those you will love, until there's only one type of person. And then we probably hit replay, the game of life, the universe. It kind of speaks about the things I told you. If we lived in paradise, until there's only one type of person, that everyone is in love, like we are all the same. And then we probably hit replay because, okay, so we reach our goal, now we go at it again. Sometimes it can feel very disheartening when we had paradise and then we lose it, but well, it's what it is. So this is your feelings towards them. You're being watched by loving eyes. So are you stalking your person? What if you're actually an ancient gladiator of love and joy who agreed to visit Earth during these primitive years to spark some new thinking, share a few smiles and help others discover they too are awesome? Just saying, the universe, up for a just of course with rubber thingies. So it's what I said. I think you have been royalties in many lifetimes. I also think that you are rainbow warriors. You just need to see and forgive yourself and love every bit and part of you, and know that you are just fine. And that will make it easier also for you to release a lot of old energy and be able to say I'm sorry, or be able to listen to someone else say that they're sorry without saying yes, okay, but being more relaxed. So you are here for a reason, and it was to bring in light to this world. So bring in the light, don't curse the darkness. Okay, so my dear Libras, long reading, but I hope this will help. I want to invite you back to my May reading that I will perform in the middle of April. I'm also going to be trying to do some pick a card readings if I'm allowed by time and coincidence. So I have scheduled it, but there's always other things that comes on those days, so I'm not able to do it. So maybe I'm trying to put too much things into a too tiny schedule. I don't know. But anyway, I want to be able to push out some pick a card readings to amuse you a little bit. And until then, see you and take really good care. Okay, bye-bye.